Hello, everyone. Welcome back to Note to Self. I am very excited to bring forth today's topic because I know it is something that everyone can relate to. Aging can most certainly bring up our insecurities, sticky emotions, and feelings inside. And today I've got a very powerful reframe, some tools, some tips, and some tricks for you to shift the energy, the frame that you might have on aging and what it means for you and what it means for your life. But before we get into that, I have to say I've been having so much fun with May Magic. This is a very special life coaching promotion that I've had on for May so far. That is closing tomorrow on May 9th. And this is where you set your intentions, you set the type of support that you would like, whether that's one-to-one coaching or, for example, WhatsApp audio support, and you also choose your budget. And I get back to you within 72 hours with a personalized coaching program just for you. It has been so exciting getting the opportunity to work with so many of you that I haven't worked with yet. I may have known you just via Instagram or even through some of my previous programs and courses, but I haven't had the opportunity to work with you one-on-one. So I just want to acknowledge and thank those of you who have reached out, who have made that leap of faith to connect with me, because I cannot wait to do more work together. And if you're still thinking that working together is something that you're interested in, this promotion is closing tomorrow. So again, the link for May Magic, that form, will be in the show notes. And I look forward to hearing from you. We're going to have so much fun making your goals, your dreams come true. So whatever's on your heart to work through, know that I'm here to support you. And let's get into it. Okay, so today's episode, I want it to be a sacred reframe for you. Because as I mentioned, we're talking about something here that we all experience, but so many of us quietly resist it: aging. We live in a world that is obsessed with youth and surface level beauty. It is something that we are marketed to at a very young age. But today I'm offering you a deeper, truer narrative. It's one that's rooted in empowerment and reverence for your journey. So I'm going to start by bringing forth a powerful coaching concept that comes from iPEC. iPEC is the Institute of Professional Excellence in Coaching, which I am 4 times certified under. And I want to bring forth this coaching concept to you in this podcast today because it can truly help you navigate aging with more peace and more purpose. And the concept is the performance mindset versus the mastery mindset. So here's what that means. The performance mindset is driven by external validation. It's the voice inside that's questioning, am I doing enough? Do I still measure up? Will others approve of me? Performance mindset treats life like it's a stage where we're constantly performing for love, worth, or significance. The mastery mindset, on the other hand, is rooted in internal alignment. It asks questions like, am I being true to myself? What feels meaningful and important to me right now? Or how can I grow and evolve with grace? It's about living from the inside out, honoring your lived experience, your wisdom, and your own definition of beauty and success. When it comes to aging, most of us are conditioned to approach it from a performance mindset, constantly measuring ourselves against youth or trying to keep up or fearing irrelevance as we get older. But today, I want to invite you all into mastery, a mindset that honors your evolution, your expansion, and your unique unfolding. Aging is not something to hide or fight. It is truly something to own. And in this episode, I'll share the mindset shifts and grounded truths to help you walk this path with reverence, joy, and power. So let's start with reframing aging altogether. Aging is not a flaw. It's evidence that you are still here, still growing, still loving, still creating, still in the game of life. So often, what we fear about aging isn't the number, it's the fear of becoming invisible, irrelevant, or no longer desired. And that's the performance mindset talking. The voice that measures your value by how you look, how others respond to you, or how closely you fit into a mold that you're witnessing around you. Or I will say an idealized mold, like viewing magazines or Instagram models or things like that. But we're going to flip that, because a 2023 Harvard study found that happiness tends to increase after your 40s. Emotional regulation improves, confidence rises, and we become wiser, calmer, and more self-aware. I have to say that when I discovered that quote and that I just shared with you all, I was really looking forward to becoming 40 and what comes after that, because I think that no matter where you are right now, I think we can all relate to having intentions around our emotional regulation improving, our confidence improving, and to carry more wisdom, be overall more calm and more self-aware. So in iPEC language, this is mastery. Okay, it's not about playing the same game with higher stakes. It's about choosing a new game altogether. One where your worth is internal, stable, and ever expanding. So from that study I just shared with you, knowing that every single moment that you are getting older, you are actually learning more about yourself, that your value is ever increasing because your wisdom is expanding. Your knowledge is becoming more vast. You've got more self-awareness to carry you through this life with ease. So why does culture resist this? I think you all know the answer. It's because plenty of industries profit off of our insecurities. They profit off of the story that you must fight time to stay valuable. But when you buy into that performance narrative, you give all of your power away. I want to say sometimes this can be very sneaky. I'm going to share an example of something I noticed in myself last year. I wasn't feeling radiant. I wasn't feeling sparkly. I wasn't feeling like myself. I was just moving through one of those funks that life can bring sometimes when we're navigating some healing. And I remember scrolling TikTok one night, and I got myself on the skincare TikTok. And before I knew it, I had filled an entire Amazon cart of all of these different products that I thought that I needed in order to feel more radiant. And right as I was about to go ahead and purchase all of this stuff, my intuition came through. And it was like, wait a minute, Zoe, what are you doing? Are you actually going to make this investment right now into your insecurities? Like this investment was let's say maybe $150 or something like that on all this skincare that I'd collected. And I was like, no, I am not going to invest a single cent, a penny, nothing into my insecurities. And I caught myself in that pattern. And it's something that I could recognize I had been doing my entire life up until that point. And most of the time it was very subconscious of feeling like I need this product or I need to spend X amount of money on a certain face cream because that's going to be the one that takes care of my skin. That's going to be the one that eliminates the wrinkles. And I will say to you that when I recognized this within myself and I made that promise to myself that I was no longer going to invest in my insecurities, I have saved lots of monies. Yes, I've saved. I have switched out a lot of my products for less expensive ones. I used to spend anywhere from maybe $60 to $120 on moisturizer for my skin. And now I buy moisturizer from the pharmacy, Shoppers Drug Mart, we would call it in Canada. And my skin has actually never been better. I feel more radiant than ever. I did research to find out what were the best possible moisturizers that I could find that are at the pharmacy. And I can tell you that I've never felt more content doing that because it feels like I am working smarter for myself, right? Not investing in insecurities at all, finding what actually resonates with me that keeps more money in my pocket to do more things that I love to do. And I truly think that that decision in itself is what actually created more radiance within me. I feel like I look better than I've ever looked before. And it's from moments like this when I actually chose my own radiance and deciding that it gets to be that way versus investing in my own insecurities. So next, let's get into some mindset shifts. We're going to reprogram this together from performance to mastery. So let's start to shift the energy from fear around aging to reverence around aging. So instead of thinking thoughts like I'm getting older and having a heavy energy towards that, we know that truth is light, lies are heavy. If you've got the word older charged with, let's say, fear, or fear of the body changing, wrinkles, etc., right? We want to deprogram that. We want to change that and transform that to reverence. So try on, I'm becoming more me, right? You can even use your own name. I'm becoming more Zoe. Instead of I'm getting older, I'm becoming more Zoe. That sounds so much more uplifting to me, sounds so much more light. And to bring back performance and mastery mindset here, performance is asking you, how do I compare? Mastery is asking you, how deeply am I living? So if you catch yourself in fear around aging, identify where do you find yourself trying to compare to others, to where you used to be, etc., and start to transform that into curiosity around the self. Asking deeper questions like, how deeply am I living? I love that question because it offers you the opportunity to find pride in yourself and your journey. And when there is curiosity, judgment cannot exist. And when there is pride in who you are, that fear melts away. So next, let's shift the energy from anti-aging to pro-living. So I'm going to offer you something here. What if your skincare routine, your morning routine, or your wellness rituals weren't focused on or about resisting age, but about honoring aliveness? So channeling devotion to who you are, to your body, and not using these moments in time as defense against time. So I'll give a simple example here. I'm somebody who uses a gua sha every single day. This is a crystal that you use on your face and give yourself a type of lymphatic drainage massage. I started this practice as something that was deep in self-love. I had a gua sha for the longest time. I just didn't use it very often. I think maybe quite a few of you can maybe relate of like, I got this tool, but it's something I have to learn and you might resist it for a while. But I started to teach myself how to gua sha and I loved it at first because I felt like it slowed me down at the end of the day and it got me really focused on my skin, and I would use affirmations. And then somewhere along the line, I started to rush the process. It started to be more about like, oh, I need to massage my face today. I need to do the lymphatic drainage massage so that my skin is feeling firm and tight and I'm minimizing my chance of wrinkles. And then I caught myself in that energy again. And I'm like, listen, if I'm going to be spending time massaging my face in this way, I am not going to be investing my energy into my insecurities. I'm going to be channeling devotion towards myself. Like that's got to be rearranged. So I wanted to bring that example in because we can transform all of our self-care rituals and wellness rituals into self-loving routines versus something like maintenance or anti-aging. Again, the transformation we want to make here is away from anti-aging and towards pro-living. Like I am feeding myself with positive affirmations as I massage my skin, or I am going to the gym because this does so much wonderfulness to my body, right? It does so much for mindset. The endorphins are just like self-love and self-care of activating your muscles and recognizing that strength is important. Next, we want to transform the energy from youth obsession to greater levels of self-devotion. So you were never meant to stay the same. change is the only constant in life. And true radiance comes not from preservation, but from presence. I think we can all understand that radiance is not necessarily what something looks like. It is the feeling that you get when observing something or someone. It's like you can tell that their energy is pristine and clean and they treat themselves well. At least that is how I interpret it. So I encourage you all to think right now about radiance and who you feel is radiant. And for me, when I think about radiance, Kelly Rutherford comes to mind. Lily Vanderwoodson. She is who I want to be when I grow up because I feel that her energy, she's somebody that I follow on Instagram. She's very classy and timeless and very conscious. She shares a lot of self-empowerment, spiritual and self-improvement type quotes on Instagram. And it's something that I really resonate with, but I just love how she is an embodied queen. That's what I feel. She is an embodied queen. And I encourage you all to find someone, if you can't identify them already, find someone that you feel, who is older than you, I would suggest, that you feel embodies radiance, and just witness them, observe them, and recognize that it is all energy. You can also see, and what I've seen, for example, from people that I deem as radiant and timeless, is that they're not seeking approval from others, right? The photos that they might share or how they live their life is not showy offy. It's very much like, this is who I am. This is what I'm experiencing. And it's an overall alignment message. And when we tie that back to performance and mastery and understanding those mindsets, performance seeks approval, mastery chooses alignment. And when you choose self-love at every stage, your glow becomes untouchable. You become radiant. So lastly, let's create the energetic shift from aging being something that shrinks you into something that expands you. So many people dim their own light with age because of the insecurities that may arise around the process of aging. But what if aging meant radiating brighter? Again, not dimming, not shrinking, but shining even brighter, living a life more expressed, more present, more true. And this is scientifically backed because from the study that I shared from Harvard earlier in the episode, we find that people actually feel overall more strong, embodied, confident, calm, clear, collected, basically, with age. So we know that it is inevitable for us to actually welcome in our expansion and shine brighter, being exactly who we are. So mastery shines. A performance mindset, a limited mindset, tries to stay safe, tries to resist the process or even dim your own light, basically. Mastery encourages us to claim who we are becoming every single day and own that. So next, I want to share some practices for embracing aging. These are just some gentle ways to embody the new paradigm of mastery as you get older. So speak to yourself with reverence, especially in the mirror. Say thank you to your body for carrying you, your eyes for witnessing beauty all around you, your heart for staying open. Gratitude is timeless and magnetic. And remember that self-talk is so incredibly important. That leads me to a next gentle way to embody mastery, and that is nourish yourself instead of punish yourself. Watch your inner critic and start to transform those narratives. I encourage you to let go of the hustle culture wellness. Instead, choose sensual, nourishing rituals, whether that's skincare, movement, or stillness of some kind, that honor your vitality, not your age. So if I can give a deeper example of this, I personally noticed such a difference when I switched the ways in which I was exercising. So throughout my whole life, I would exercise as a way to eliminate what I might have ate the day before, or I would exercise because I just wanted my body to look differently. I wasn't actually invested in the internal journey and internal transformation that's available when you switch this energy from performance to mindset. So I actually switched the ways in which I worked out from not feeling like I needed to kill myself at the gym and feel sore for like a whole week for it to be worth it. I actually started to take on Pilates and more yoga and practice embodiment. And this not only brought more peace into my life, but it actually changed my body composition. And I know I said it before in this episode that I feel more radiant and beautiful than ever before, but I actually feel like my body is better than it's ever been. And I think it's because I really slowed down all my processes and started to embrace the energy of mastery. It's easy for me to maintain the body that I have because I'm honoring it versus punishing it. So I hope that grants you some insights if you're somebody who might be experiencing a bit of that punishment or working out from a place of guilt. Huge transformation is available to you that you will actually physically see the difference when you choose to listen to your body and honor it. So next, releasing emotional weight. So according to the APA, emotional resilience is one of the biggest predictors of long-term well-being. So when you heal your regrets, your heartbreaks, your old identities, you lighten and you rise. You don't suppress things, you choose to feel it, to heal it. And this is work that I do with my clients, and one of the biggest transformations that I love to see in clients and that I witness in every single person that I've worked with is that when they choose to look at what's arising for them that feels uncomfortable and let it go, when they go to the root of, let's say, an insecurity and they choose to let it go, when they go to the root of something that hurt them in the past and they let it go, they just fly forward in life. They tap into new momentum, and that is resiliency. They know that the things that hurt them or that they decided to take in before in the past without realizing the harm that it would cause them, they can just release and move on. And something that I want to share with you is that my bestie, my grandmother, is 96 years old and she lives on her own. And she is the most resilient human being that I know, that I've ever witnessed in my entire life. And it was actually kind of funny because my partner and I yesterday, we were on ChatGPT and we asked ChatGPT, what are all the major global events that my grandmother had lived through, being that she was born in 1929. She still lives on her own, you guys. Like, she is just so incredible. And that list was extensive. And that doesn't even include the, of course, personal things that she's gone through. She has 12 brothers and sisters, only one of which is still here today. So she's experienced a lot of loss. She's obviously lost a lot of friends. She lost her husband, my best of far. She lost recently her grandson. She has been through so much, but she still gets up every day and she gardens and she loves her garden and she loves visiting with people and she lives her life in such a powerful way. She is so graceful, so elegant, and she's also who I want to be when I grow up. She's also survived breast cancer, open heart surgery, and so much more. She is just such an incredible human being. And that brings me to the next part of the next point here. You know, in addition to resiliency, celebrate yourself and celebrate yourself often. You don't need to gracefully fade as aging can feel like, or that the media tries to paint for us. You're not disappearing, you're emerging. It's important for you to experience joy. It's contagious and people won't be able to stop watching you bloom. And that's exactly what my bestie embodies. Is she celebrates. She celebrates. She does a scratch and win and she wins. She's telling you about that for the next 2 weeks. Okay, she has an amazing trip. She likes the casino. She has an amazing trip to the casino, and that's what you're going to hear about for the next couple of weeks. She has an amazing lunch with a friend. That's all that you're going to hear about. She celebrates her life. Okay, so I encourage you to celebrate yours and often. And next, as we come to the end of this episode here, I just want to offer you a moment of affirmation. So if you can, if you're not driving or anything like that, I just invite you to place your hand on your heart. Take a deep breath with me. Inhale and exhale. And I'm going to read these affirmations out to you. And I encourage you to just repeat them to yourself out loud or in your own mind. Every year, I become more of who I truly am. My beauty deepens with time. I am not fading, I am rising. Aging is a sacred privilege, and I live it with presence, grace, and power. So I hope this episode today brought you clarity and peace, and know that you're not behind, you're not fading away, you're blooming, you are exactly on time, you're exactly where you need to be. You are not a performance, you are a masterpiece in progress. And the more you choose to live your truth, the more powerful and magnetic you become. If this episode resonated, send it to someone who needs this sacred reframe, and remember, how you see yourself shapes how you experience life. So it's important to do this work. It's important to embody these changes. If something stuck out to you today, whether that's a ritual or an affirmation, take that on and practice it. You are so worth it. So thank you so much for listening today. And if you're interested in May Magic, take the time to fill out the form before it closes tomorrow. And I cannot wait to work with you. Have a beautiful rest of your day. Bye.